I've been on this earth for 37 years, and there have been a handful of amazing moments that have taken my breath away. If you're watching this, you've probably shared in many of these moments, as it brings me great joy to share. And then there are the times that make you feel like you're holding your breath, when life sweeps you off your feet in unexpected and scary ways. It has brought healing and fulfillment to share those moments too, and we have always felt your love. Today I'd like to share with you that I've been living somewhat of a double life lately. I've had this simmer of change brewing for nearly 2 months, but on May 13th, there was an eruption and it felt like chaos. May 13th will always feel like a day where life felt like it stopped and was frozen in time. I felt frozen and stuck while everybody else got to keep going, and it felt unfair and scary. Please know that that feeling did not last long, but it was very real and very raw. Much of that moment is a blur, but I do remember trying to call my parents, reaching out to Jacob at work, and doing a Marco Polo message to my best friends. Marco Polo is a video app where you can communicate, and just to be real with you, I want to show you what that moment looked like. Here it is. I have breast cancer. I don't even know what to do. This is so not real. It was at that point that I felt like I was being held hostage. Like 100 guns were pointed at me, and I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who the invader was, and I didn't know what their intention was. Cancer had taken a spot in my body, and I did not know what that meant. Within minutes, Michelle and Margie, some of my dearest friends, were at my doorstep. They gathered around me, listened to me, cried with me, prayed with me. Jacob was home in record time, and we soon headed into the clinic to try to get answers about what we were dealing with. Unfortunately, my provider did not feel like she was an adequate resource, as she is not an expert in cancer, so we went home and tried to figure things out. My friend Mandy Trangsrud dropped everything and came over and sat on our deck with us. We sat stone-faced and in shock and listened to her as she shared about her cancer experience. My cancer is an aggressive one, but so am I. I started researching immediately, of course, and reaching out to survivors, thinking of people my age who have experienced this or are going through it right now. And I can tell you that the breast cancer community is amazing. I feel lucky to be a part of such an amazing group of women. The next day I went to a local support group with Mandy. She picked me up and I was able to meet local survivors and hear their stories. I can tell you that each and every breast cancer story is different and unique. I got an education about something that I knew existed, but I had no idea. I just had no idea. Dr. Khan here in Roseau and his amazing nurse, Kristen, helped Jacob and me understand the diagnosis. They gave us all the answers and the resources that they could, and Kristen especially really wrapped her arms around me in the sense of just giving me the comfort and security and the compassionate, loving guidance that only, I swear, an angel on earth could do. She was a miracle on those days of waiting. I think many breast cancer survivors or anybody facing a difficult diagnosis would say that those first initial days are the scariest. As I fought with anxiety and fear, I kept getting reassured from my new friends that these were some of the worst days, waiting test results, waiting scan results, waiting for answers. But we got through it, slowly but surely. Each of those 100 guns that I felt were pointed at me, they started to drop, one by one, with each conversation, with each new test result, with each new kind message, with each new hug from a friend. I was able to feel free of that fear. Pretty soon, instead of lifting my hands in fear, it was like I was lifting my hands to surrender to God. And I'll never forget the moment that I had that clarity where the dark clouds parted and it was like my eyes shot wide open, and I thought, something good is going to come out of this. It's a line that I heard 2017 Sensi Family Reunion from the speaker Fly Girl. She said, when things got rough, you just got to say, something good's going to come out of this. And I've clung to that, and I've spoken on that. And I was able to hear my own sense of reason. Something good can come out of this. And God is good all the time. And the other thing I thought, this is going to be part of my testimony. And if my life purpose, which I've really clung to for the last 2.5 years since attending director boot camp, was that this exercise that I took part in helped me realize that my main focus in life, with everything that I do, all the different random things that I've chosen to be a part of, they all have the common thread of inspiring people, teaching people, celebrating people, celebrating life. And if this is a chapter that I have to walk in order to get more skin in that game, then bring it on. I will do it. Put me in, coach, because I am ready. It's taken me these weeks to build up to that, but I'm ready. And I feel this rally of support around me, and I feel thankful. As cliche as it may sound, I feel like right away, almost immediately, even amongst the fear and uncertainty, that all of a sudden I had on these cancer-colored glasses. It's like I all of a sudden had this new filter, and I could see the beautiful things in my life so much more clearly. It was like all the bogus and unnecessary and extra things that don't matter ultimately in the long run, they all melted away. It was like they just disappeared, and all I could see with these glasses on were the beautiful, loving, amazing things in my life, the people. I could see my husband so clearly, and his love for me, my children, my family, my parents, my in-laws, my friends, and these breast cancer survivors that took so much time to support me in my time of need. Those things became my only focus, and life was so beautiful. I couldn't help but just enjoy those moments, and that's how I continue each day now. It just feels like I don't have to make decisions about what would be a good choice. Everything is just it. If I can make a choice to help benefit any of those things, I'll do it. It's just a no-brainer. The things that I used to take for granted are now these rare gems, things that I just hold so much more near and dear, and that I just will treasure even more for the rest of my life. I've learned that life is fragile and our bodies are fragile, but we're also so strong and capable of so much. I've learned to be patient and kind, yet fierce and aggressive. The spectrum of abilities that we have is broad, and ultimately we are strong and we can do hard things. I've done hard things, And the feeling that I had when I was first diagnosed, I could recognize that same fear and that same like angst. I don't know, that same hopelessness in a sense that I felt losing Brooks. It was the same feeling of fear that I had during postpartum depression. And I can look back on those times and see that it turns out okay. Like, you can heal, you can overcome, you can do hard things. I have pushed out 4 children without drugs, and I can tell you that was some of the hardest work I've done in my entire life, but some of the greatest days of my entire life. That the reward at the end is worth it, and that there's purpose in the pain. And I will cling to that as I go through these next pages of this next chapter of my life. I've chosen the hashtag Kate Says Check because I am bossy, and it would bring me nothing but joy to know that me sharing my story helped others feel knowledgeable about true breast cancer awareness. I can tell you that I have donated my hair 3 times to cancer. I have worn pink. I've worn pink ribbons. I've gone to the walks. But I did not know that 1 in 8 women will get a breast cancer diagnosis in their lifetime. 1 in 8. Think about that. 1 in 8. Learn to check yourself. Go to your care provider on a regular basis every year and get an exam. Ask your family about history of breast cancer. Ask about mammograms. Do the things that can help you truly know about breast cancer and help prevent it, or at least catch it early. It makes such a big difference. I will be posting updates on this page regularly, and I already have so many things to tell you about. My goal is to obviously bring breast cancer awareness to as many people who will listen. I plan to hopefully inspire you. I hope to introduce you to some amazing people, and I just want to celebrate humanity, because I'm going to be meeting some great people along the way. I already have, and I'm going to do hard things. I'm going to learn a lot, and to me, it brings me great joy and great energy to share that. I cannot stay quiet. It is just not in me. So follow along right here, and then go check yourself. Okay? Kate says check.
Kate says check.